We are back with another crypto market analysis, especially this time while we look at XRP. This does seem a little bit concerning, right? If this is the case, now from the side of Ripple, the company, we understand that XRP staying a little bit stable gives them more opportunity to market it as a product without much of a volatility. And during the time when they have the SEC case, yes, that makes a lot of sense. So this particular thread from Mr. Herber makes a lot of sense, right? When we look at what they are doing, how much they are selling, how much they buy, it's a little bit concerning. But when we actually go back into the market, the general sentiment is actually playing out in XRP, isn't it? We are also moving up. We were close to 0.32. People were talking about 0.2. Now we are close to 0.4. So when Bitcoin is moving, XRP is also moving. Now the volatility is much lower. I agree. But right now the question in the market is like, okay, is this a bull flag? I don't think so. Because this is not how a bull flag looks like. So most likely, we may actually have similar pattern in different assets, right? We actually can see Ether showing you similar pattern, which is a rising wedge. Usually that breaks to the downside. But there are other things in the market which also suggest like, okay, we may actually break to the upside rather than directly breaking to the downside, because there's a lot of different indicators suggesting us to that direction, right? So we are in this market and we understand that there is a lot of different assets moving. And right now, see Casper, it's one of the top 10 for today. And we see it's close to 0.039 right now, doing 33% for this week. That's not actually bad. And if we look back at what we were talking about 3-4 days back about Casper, and right now where it is, it actually makes a lot of sense. It's already up close to 33%. Great. Now, if we go back, look at that, that's 33% for this week. Great. So the market is showing different assets moving today. Tomorrow, there will be different groups. So the correlation of these has to be noted, because at the end of the day, you already see like there is a lot of different assets which are pumping like 40, 50, 60, 70% for the week. And that's in the first 100. Then you move to a little bit smaller caps and you see like 100%, 150%. So this is here in the market. It's the time when the opportunities pop up, and the question is, are you really going to seize those? If Bitcoin is about to do this and get to this level, then you are going to see a lot more coins pumping. Welcome to the Scientific Investor family, where the normal retail guys learn how to become the next top 10%. This is just the calls just before the recent run up in crypto. We all know that it started after New Year, but we had this call before that saying, okay, we most likely may run up. We most likely have a bull momentum coming in, so the market may do this. And right now we observe that the market did that. Here for ALBT, I'm also surprised, because I was thinking like, okay, this is a possible movement, the ABC correction, and then we may start the upside, right? Now going back to look at that, it's A, B, and C. It did drop below the flag and then continued to the upside. So if you are there trying to anticipate what the market can actually do, and you're using valid technical indicators and proven technical analysis, this may actually be helpful. Like VXV here, Vector Space AI. It's a small project, but getting a lot of adoption, right? So the fundamental side is improving. So you're looking at the technical side of that. RSI was actually showing us it's going to break higher. Now we are looking at that. Different targets hit already. Now it's moving even further. So in the market, you do see a lot of different assets breaking through the resistance, retesting that, and then bouncing. So if you were the short-term guy, you got 46. If you are short-term, medium-term, you're already 139% up. Now, different assets are doing different things, but the market is still the same. We know that this market has a lot of opportunities, and most likely, this is important, most likely, Next 3 to 6 months is going to be a lot of opportunities in this market. Whether we like this asset or not, there will be a lot of assets doing a lot of numbers, big numbers. I really mean that, because say we are XRP maximalist, but we are really not. We do our research. Fundamentally, we agree that this is one of the best asset in this asset class. But right now, with what's happening here, I would also highlight like, okay, yes, we understand the fundamental of this asset is strong than any other coin in this market. Great. But right now, if the opportunity here is like the market may go after another coin, the market may go then after another coin, it's better to be in some of these coins which do have volume, which do have fundamental, and it's not in the competing space. Even if you are in the competing space, say XRP, XLM, HBAR, Quant, some of these are performing well. Some of these are breaking higher. So this is going to be useful for you, me, and everyone else. So if you are interested in such kind of viewpoints about the market, where we are breaking higher, where we have this kind of targets on the short term, that really is helpful in my thought process. So if you are looking for something like that, you can actually have a look at the Patreon. The link is given in the description below. Now, jumping back into the charts, this is Bitcoin on the short-term horizon. Great. Now, we may actually get a wick to the upside and then drop. So the primary question here becomes like, okay, if we happen to wick to the upside, what would be that level of resistance which kicks us down? It can be close to 22,500. Great. Now, one of the primary reasons we all have to understand is we broke this level, we went up. So if you are on a long-term chart and you're a horizontal guy, you are looking at this and saying like, okay, we had an opportunity in this market to say we are trending lower, but we happen to break that back. So the downside momentum is reducing. To put that in a clear sense, if you're here in the market and you're looking for a downtrend, and at one point the market just bounces back in, now there is a big question for you, me, and anyone who's observing the market. Here you can see this was your low, that became a resistance. Again, this was your support, that became a resistance. But at this point, something changed, right? Something did change there. The price broke back to the upside. Now you may retest this range and then bounce, or you may make a bull flag and then continue up. But does that really matter if you are looking at the chart on the macro? I don't think so, right? If you are there as an investor and you are really not caring about the short-term noise in the market, then your perspective is like this. Okay, the pattern does show me somewhere close to a 50% run up, and here we are. We have room to the upside, and the measured move can actually take us further, right? We may go close to 25,000 or even higher, which can be the biggest resistance which we will face for sure. Unless we break that, we're not in a bullish kind of direction. But we also have to acknowledge, if you're a pattern guy, you delete all this, you are literally looking at what the pattern resistance suggests to you, and you're like, okay, that's interesting, because if we move above this level, we are breaking through a pattern resistance which started all the way back from 2021 November. Now, if Bitcoin is actually running up, that shows you that the Bitcoin dominance is about to run higher, 48%. That is coming into the market. And if that now is playing out, a lot of altcoins will follow that rally. You can literally say that the market is actually trying to adjust. But as we break higher, we need to understand this is Bitcoin. And if Bitcoin can actually do 100% after the break, which actually puts the number above 40,000, it's breaking through the 30,000 mark. Now you can certainly agree with a lot of other guys who are saying, okay, bull market is here. But if you actually compare with the volume of people who are actually suggesting you that we may have a big rally in 3-6 months, that's comparatively much lower than the other side who's saying, okay, we are going for the lower like $8,000, $10,000 Bitcoin. So what do you think actually? If you are looking at this chart of Bitcoin on the longer time horizon, do you really see that the price is breaking higher? Or do you really have that argument that we are going much lower? Because the way we look at this, Jan 2021 till this point, so you had the entire 2 years of 2021 and 2022 under this resistance. And right now, the price actually decides that I'm breaking higher. It was on a horizontal level of accumulation for some time before it started gathering momentum. Now, if you digest this properly, you're looking at this in a proper way and saying like, okay, I do get the point here. We made a base and we had a level of resistance, whether you are plotting that as a rising one or you plot that as a horizontal one. Both are now broken. You are moving to the upside. So the direction is clear. There is no doubt that we are trending to the upside right now. Yes, we do have resistance. We have to break that level and move higher. If you are looking at the price action here, when we were moving up, you had a lot of resistance to break through. But the price did move higher. It actually broke that level and went up to hit new highs. Now, I'm not talking about $1 million Bitcoin or $500,000 Bitcoin. I'm talking about $90, $95, or even $100,000 Bitcoin. That is possible, in my opinion, with what we are observing in the market right now. If you actually go back on a monthly chart, we still have like 13 days to end this month. So it should be certain that we are actually in a range bound movement, and we do have to see a proper break of the 21-day moving average. Take that perspective and jump here onto different asset. This is Casper. If you zoom out on this asset, say you're going onto a weekly chart, you're still noting that this asset has been trending lower, lower, lower for a very long period of time. And right now, it's showing you something is changing and it's trying to break through. So the short-term targets, asset is being hit, you're breaking through a macro move up. So this is for all YouTube family, scientific investor family, right? If you break this pattern here, that's 0.04 or above, now you are literally looking for a 300-400% run. If you are a conservative guy and you're like, okay, I need the maximum amount of odds on your side, now you're literally looking for, like, say, if the measured move is 385%, you're waiting for this to break to the upside. So you target 200%. That's not lower. It still is a good ROI if you're trading on a short time horizon, right? So macro is changing, not for just one asset, for a lot of different assets, right? We actually had highlighted this in the Twitter earlier, right? If you are looking for different kind of movement in the market, here are some of these. See, this is Veracity, right? We were talking about this like 3 days earlier, a breakout to the move and your measured move, the target. Right now, it's already halfway through. You're running to the upside. So, makes sense. Dollar is slowing down. It's dropping. If the history repeats with this death cross, you may actually accelerate your momentum to the downside in dollar. So, if the dollar value is dropping against an asset class which is right now showing a trend to the upside like this, most likely you're going to see some of these assets running much higher. It can be on a daily, it can be on a weekly. Some of these assets we are watching, it does look like, okay, they are a little bit slow on a regular basis on the daily, but they're consistently moving to the upside. Now, here we are looking at XRP again. Yes, we understand there is a lot of pressure, selling pressure in the market for XRP, which does not make too much sense when Ripple is selling that. But on the short term, as we just saw, we do have room to do this. This is a pattern. If we break 0.39, say we go above 0.4, now we have a higher odds in the market that we do this. Because we just noticed that in Bitcoin, in Ether, we right now have a pattern which is bearish. It actually indicates correction usually, right? But for XRP, it's actually a bullish pattern. It's a bull flag. So if you're measuring that bull flag and the entire pattern, now you're like, okay, XRP do have room to run up. And with that run up, now you're breaking through this level, which has been a macro resistance for XRP all the way from April 2021. So it's literally 2 years of resistance, which we have to break. And with that short-term move, if we do that, now we have a long way to go. But it does not actually mean we don't have any resistance. This range of resistance, which turned into a support, will also act as a resistance as we go up. But while we break through this range, it's actually clear that we are starting to trend to the upside. So if you still have a doubt that the market is going much lower, because we have seen people arguing that we are going to 0.12, the bottom, we are going to test that level, or even 0.18, which seems a little bit too much considering we were at $2 and we dropped from there. We came all the way back to 0.29. In some exchanges up to 0.27, I think, right? So that's a massive drop already in the price, and if you're waiting for further downside to enter the market, that can be a mistake. So if you are here, this is the market, and these are the opportunities if you wish to participate in this market, because in 3 months time and 6 months time, when this market is over, after waiting for like 3 years, you really don't want to be on that side saying, okay, I missed this one too, let me wait another 3 years. Because from 2017, you had time till the end of that year. Then you went through massive correction, 2018, 2019, 2020, March. That was the bottom. From there, if you literally put that timeline, 2021, 2022, here we are close to 2023. And the bull market has not ended yet in the right perspective, because you are looking for wave 1, wave 2, and a wave 3 to come, which may actually go close to $100,000. And if that happens, you should not have the element of regret because you denied the fact that the market can do this. Now, remember, this is a monthly chart of Bitcoin, which we are looking at. You have a trend line which started all the way back from March 2021, which we broke to the upside. Now, it's not just we broke that to the upside, but you tried to make a bottom there, which happens to look like a reversal signal where you actually broke that pattern to the upside. Now, if you remove that and you're just a price action guy, you're like, okay, fine, I'm not looking at the pattern, but I'm looking at the resistance levels which we broke. So the first one is done. You are just breaking through the second one. It does show you that some of these momentum which existed in the market from June this year till this point is being erased. So the sellers in the market here is being erased. You are moving to the upside. So something is changing from last 6 months. And if you're analyzing last 2 years and saying, okay, next 3 months can be like this, it's not just a speculation. You have a lot of facts standing with you. So guys, if you received value for your time, please do hit that like and subscribe button. And if you're looking for updates like this for a lot of different coins, which does show you a lot of different opportunities with short-term, medium-term, long-term targets, then you can look at the Patreon. The link is given in the description below. So that's it, guys. I'll meet you on the next video. Bye-bye.